Hello everybody! Welcome to Crafty Chemist Designs. How are you doing? Today we are going to be making these beautiful Valentines from a one-sheet wonder technique. I'm so excited. I've been promoting these all week with my TikTok and Instagram reels, showing you one card at a time. So if you're here, say hello. If you're watching the replay, say hashtag replay. I'm going to share this to the group real quick. While I'm doing that, why don't you tell me what the weather's like by you? Or tell me, hi Jean, tell me what you are up to today. Did you do anything crafty? Okay, I shared it to the group. And now I'm going to tag people. Okay, there we go. Hi, welcome everybody. So excited to have you here. I love a good one-sheet wonder technique. I'm going to put this up here so you can take a snapshot or screenshot if you want to before we start. Hi, Dee. Hi, Mom. I did post this layout in the event. So go to the event tab and the discussion, and this is there if you want to save it, or you can just take a screenshot, like I said. So we are going to take one sheet of designer series paper and create all of these cards. Of course, we need the card bases. So you need some paper from the card bases. You make 8 cards. So basically you need 4 sheets of 8.5 by 11 for the card bases. And then you'll need just some miscellaneous paper to, cut, die cuts or stickers or something, whatever you want to use. And a couple of the cards, let me see if I can find one. Like this one, I did add a little bit of other cardstock. So it's all up to you what you do. Okay, while we are getting ready, I want to remind you about a couple things. One is the new catalog is out. If you haven't seen it, you can go to my page, which is, let me move this, thecraftychemist.stampinup.net. And if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there is a link to look at the catalog. And you can look at the catalog, in the catalog form, like a digital form, or there's a link where you just click on it and it takes you to those items on the website. I am using today this suite called Made with Love. So you can see some of the items on here. This is the paper. I'm using the paper and the stamp set and the dies. There's also a embossing folder and some of these loose assortment things. They've got a heart, lips, a letter, another heart, and looks like confetti. And then also there is Bubble Bath faux linen ribbon. Okay, so this is what I am using, but you can make these cards with any paper that you want. So if you want to craft along, Hi, Diana. If you want to craft along, you need 1 sheet of designer series paper. Hi, Kathy. And 4 sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock to make the card bases, or card bases. You know, like with Close to My Heart, we used to be able to buy a bag of the card bases. You could do that too. So you need 8 card bases, 1 sheet of designer series paper, and then if you are going to cut some die cuts and things, you'll need some just scrap pieces to cut that. Okay? So, like I said, the new mini catalog just was released January 6th. So go check that out. Also, it is bonus days. So every $50 that you spend, you get a $5 bonus coupon to use in February. So that is a really good deal. So this is the time that you want to grab some of that stuff that you want. Also, remember we started the new item of the month, product of the month, I think they call it, product of the month, where if you spend $75, you get to choose the product of the month, which this month it's a really nice stamp set. Last month it was this blue kind of floral paper. I didn't get the blue floral paper last month, but I did place an order this month, and I was able to order that blue floral paper from December. You can do that. You can go back and order old products of the month if they haven't sold out. So, but I wasn't able to order this month's product of the month because I ordered last month's. Okay, so a lot of good deals. Hey, Vicky. So check that out. Okay, well, let's get started. Like I said, here's the One Sheet Wonder cutting guide if you want to start cutting, or if you want to see what we're going to be doing. Let's see. Like I said, I'm using the Made with Love suite. This is a paper that I used to make the sample cards, and I'm going to use it again because I think it's a really good paper option. What I recommend if you're going to craft along with me is you want a paper that's got a really nice bold design on one side, and then the other side is a little more subdued. This one isn't solid. You can see there's little lines on it, but it almost looks like a solid. And the reason I say that is because you can see you put things on here, like on here. If you have a subdued side, you can put your stickers or your die cuts or whatever on, and you'll be able to see it. If I had put these on, you know, the more busy paper, I wouldn't be able to really see that. So it gives you a little bit more flexibility. So that's the paper I'm going to be using. Here's other paper in the set. This is XOs, some stripes. This one wouldn't be too bad. This dots is really cute. I think that's a pretty good Disney one. Well, this one's good. I probably could use this one. I like this one. It's got little hearts on it. I don't know if you can see the little hearts. And then this is Bubble Bath Pink with little flowers on it. This one is red with the little pink hearts. This one is a lot of little pink hearts. I think this is my favorite paper in the suite because it's ombre. So I think it's Flirty Flamingo, Strawberry Slush. I know there's Real Red, Poppy Parade. There might be one other color. Let's see, what's the colors on here? Bubble Bath, Flirty Flamingo, Poppy Parade, Real Red, and Strawberry Slush. Yeah, Strawberry Slush. And then the back of it is has these arrows. And then you can get it with or without the sticker sheet. I got it with the sticker sheet. I already used some on my layout that I made last week. So really cute. And then there's also a coordinating cardstock pack that's got these colors in it. So it's got all of those colors that we talked about, plus it's got the white willow. So Flirty Flamingo, I think it's Poppy Parade, Strawberry Slush, Bubble Bath, and the white willow. Okay, are we ready to go? Wait, let me show, I have a resource that has all of these products on it. Okay, so all of the things that I used in on my cards can be found on that resource. Okay, so remember, we make 8 cards. You ready to get started? Who's going to craft along with me? Let me know if you're going to craft along, and then if what suite you're using. I'm going to put these in order too, because I did write on the back, so I knew what's what. 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 2, 8, 7, and 1. Okay, got those all in order. So here's our cutting guide. This is what I'm going to be using. Okay. So when you cut, you want to have a pencil handy, which I do, because I recommend writing the card number on the back of it. So if you look at my guide, I wrote down what the size of the cuts are, and then in the circles are the card number. Okay, so like this piece goes for card 1, this piece goes for card 2, and then if it's got a star beside it, or the asterisk, that means that I used the reverse side. Okay, so like for instance, this card, that card 1 uses the front side of this piece, and then the back side of this piece. So that's how you can read my design. Let's see, how do I want, I'm gonna want them to go like that. Okay, so before you cut, you might want to make sure that you have the paper going, especially the back side, how you want. So this first cut, here, I'm going to make this cut here. It is at 4 inches. So cut at 4 inches. And then that piece we cut into 3-inch pieces. Okay, so I'm going to turn this and cut into 3-inch pieces. So these are 3 by 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now, according to these, 3 of them are the front side and 1 is the back side. So I'm considering this my front side and this my back side. Okay. So you want to write the card on the side you don't want. So this is going to be card 1. This is going to be for card 2. This is going to be for card 3, and I'm writing on the back because I want to use this side. And then this one is for card 3, but I want to use this side, so I'm going to write 3 there. Okay. Now on this next cut, we're going to cut at 3 inches this way. Let's line this up with the 3. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it into 4-inch pieces. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now all of these are for the front side because none of these have the asterisks by them. And it's card 4, 5, and 6. So I'm going to be using this part. So I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. And actually, I don't know if you look at my blog, because I did write about this on my blog, two of the cards I ended up reversing them. I think it was these two maybe. We'll see. I'll let you know later. Okay, now we're going to cut these, and it's 8 pieces that are 2 inches by 1.5. So it's 2 inches this way, and then these are 1.5. So let's cut 2 inches. And then all of these are going to be 1.5. And you should get 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, now all of these, I'm using the front side, so I'm using the heart side. And 4 of them are for card 7, and 4 of them are for card 8. So I'm going to put these 4 for card 7 and for card 8. Vicki, hi Jean. We're just cutting our one sheet wonders. Vicki, how did Mewen do his first night at home? Okay, so these are for card 7. These are 2 by 1.5. And then these are for card 8. And I'm using the heart side, so I'm writing on the back. And believe me, it's easier if you do actually write on them. Okay. Again, let's look at our guideline. I think she said it was Mewen McGregor. Like Ewan McGregor, but with an M. Meowen. Maybe Meowen. Okay, so the next cut we're going to make is 1 3/4. 1 3/4. And then 5 1/4. And both of these, I'm using the reverse side. So I'm going to write it on the side with the hearts. So this is 5 1/4, 5 1/4, and then you have a little piece that's left over. That's a scrap. And so this is card 1, and this is for card 6. I didn't say Megan, did I? Or did you have a typo? Okay, and then this piece should be 1 1/4. And then we're going to cut it. I don't know if I showed it. 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, both of these. And I'm going to be using the back side. So I'm going to be writing the numbers on the side with hearts. And again, this little piece is a scrap. So this is card 4 and 5. Okay, so our cutting pretty much is done. Keep your trimmer nearby because, like I said, a couple of them I used a little bit of extra cardstock. Okay, so let's put these in order. That's card 1. This is card 4. Card 5. Card 1. Card 6. Let's see. 7. 7, 8. 8. 8. 8. 7, 7, 7. 6, 5, 4. These 2 are for 3, and this one is for 2. Okay, so I think we're pretty good. I'm going to put these aside because I am going to cut my card bases. Let's see if I can do it like this. Put them this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to use this paper that's in the coordinating cardstock pack. But if you have 8.5 by 11, that makes it easier. But I'm going to turn these all into 8.5 by 11s. And then I'll cut the card bases. You got to use what you have. And these colors match, so that's why I'm using them. Let's see, 8.5 by 11. Actually, I think I have strawberry slush 8.5 by 11, but eight and a half by 11, and then I can use the pieces that I'm cutting off as my, to cut the die cuts. And then let's do this one. I might not make the card bases the same as I did for my samples, because I know I made one of them white. Okay, now, so imagine these are 8.5 by 11. All we need to do is cut these in half to make our card bases. So I'm going to cut them at 5.5. So you should have 8 card bases. Or, like I said, if you have a pack of card bases and you want to use those, you can do that. Now, this paper is, since it was a 12 by 12, it is two-toned. So, this one really was two-toned. Wow. You want to kind of keep that in mind as you're making these cards. Okay, now I think we are done cutting. Let's score these at 4 1/4 so I can fold them. I know that, you can score these before you cut them in half, but I'm always afraid I'm going to score them going the wrong way. So that's why I don't do that. So what did everybody do today? Today, I'm still working on putting my closet back together. I don't know if I mentioned last time, but my closet collapsed. The top shelves on 2 of the sides fell down. So I took all the shelving out of my closet, patched up the holes, and put up all new shelves. Well, I used the shelves, but I bought new, pieces to put it up, like the clips and the brackets. Okay, now we are ready. Hi, Leanne. So, I got my card bases. Let's start with card number 1, which is this one. Okay, so let's just use that one. first what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of the card bases so you can see, and then we'll decorate depending on time, okay? So here is card 1, and here are my pieces, okay? And so it's going to go like this. Now, I made the decision well, I only had the one closet collapse. I'm still working on it. I'm still working on it. It's taken me a couple weeks. But it's not that I was putting too much stuff on it. What I've discovered as I'm putting these back up is that they did not have side brackets on them. So there was nothing holding it up on the side. The shelves were just kind of free hanging with a couple of the brackets underneath, if that makes sense. So there was nothing holding it up from the sides. And so the top 2 fell down. The one shelf in the closet that had the side brackets on, because I did put side brackets on one shelf, that was the only one that did not fall down. So they just didn't put them up very well. So okay, anyway, I made the conscious decision, since this is a one-sheet wonder. I hate when you have one-sheet wonders and then they're like, oh, you've got to mat this one and mat this one, you know, and so you need to cut all these other papers. I decided I wasn't going to do that. There are a couple that I did mat that I thought looked better matted. But why I'm telling you that is, if you want to mat these, you can. Like if you want to take, you know, some white, let's just use the pink or whatever. If you want to mat this in pink before you put it on there, feel free to do that. I am not doing that because I was trying to stay true to the one-sheet wonder idea. Although, like I said, there are, I think, 2 or 3 cards that I did add a little bit of extra cardstock because I felt, it was these ones with the little pieces, I felt that that wasn't quite enough on the card. Hi, Leanne from let's see, Alberta. Hi, welcome. Okay, so I'm going to take this piece that is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 and put it on the left side. I don't know if you can see the difference because they're pretty close in color. Okay, and then this one, so that's side B, or the back side, and then this side is the front side. Oops, got a little bit on my card base there. Okay, now I'm just going to kind of center this on the card, like this. Okay, so there is card 1. Again, not decorated. This is Tombow, the dots adhesive. I really like dots adhesive. I don't care for tape. And so for card making, usually I use this dots adhesive. I also have an ATG tape runner that this one is tape. I use this more in scrapbooking when I have a longer pieces that I need to adhere. So Stampin' Up does have a nice stamp and seal, but it's tape. So, you know, you have to like tape. And there's a Stampin' Sew Plus that's a little bit stronger. You can also do these with the Tombow green glue. If you've ever watched me before, I'm not a glue person because I don't know why, what I do. I guess I maybe use too much, but I get it everywhere when I use glue, so I don't do that. Okay, so here's the card 1 base. Like I said, I'm going to make all the bases, and then we will do the decorations. I think this is card 2. Okay, so for card 2, I wanted to use these doilies that are also part of the collection. These are some really cute doilies. I love them. I mean, I used to make Valentines with doilies. My mom always bought one of those big packs of doilies someplace at the store, and that's how I made my Valentines. So I love these. So I'm going to use this. And this is on that resource page that I posted, but this is 167104. They're called Lovely Doilies. Now the only thing is, and I'll show you, I'm going to use a red one this time just because. So that means maybe I'll use the lighter pink so you can see that. Okay. If you put this on here and then we use, this is piece 2, it covers up, I thought, too much of it. So what I did is I cut this in half. And then put half up towards the top, and then half down towards the bottom. And you can't really tell, but it kind of makes you be able to see a little bit more of it. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, and I'm just centering it kind of on the card. Okay, and then do the same thing for down here. You don't have to cut it, I guess. Okay, but I thought it had more of it show. And then the cut part is hidden, so you don't see that. Now again, this is one piece where I did mat it a little bit in white because I thought that got a little bit lost on there. Okay, so let's cut, remember this piece is 3 by 4, so let's cut this 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Yeah, you have trouble with the stamp and seal. And for me, I do too. And I think it's because it's tape, and I just don't like tape as well. This is the dots. So it goes on, I don't know if you can see it, but it goes on as like little dots instead of the tape, which is my preference. Okay, so I'm going to put this, center it onto the 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and then I'll put this on. I think I might have cut that at 3 1/8 or something, because I should have measured that, but you can see it's a little bit less of a border than what I have here, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, there we go. Okay, and like I said, we will decorate the tops of it later, but I wanted to show you how to make the card bases. And if you're not using this suite and you don't have the doilies, then obviously you're just going to do this piece, 3 by 4 piece, and then you can mat it if you want to. Okay, card 3. Card 3 uses 2 pieces that are the 3 by 4. So let's do this one. And you can see that on this one, you use one piece going this way with this side, and then one piece going this way with this side. Okay. And again, you can mat these if you want to. I didn't on these. So you put, let me make sure it's opening up the right way. Okay, yeah. So I'm going to center this just across the top. And then here, this one going up and down like this. Okay, so this is card 3. We will decorate it later. See, here's card 4. So card 4, let's see, let's use this red one, I guess. So here's card 4. Now card 4, I was supposed to do it like this. On this card, I did flip it around. So that's because I wanted to use these pieces, which I didn't think would show up as well on this. Okay, so I'm going to, I wrote on the backs of them. So I'm going to do it the same way because I'm probably going to decorate it the same. But just note that this is not how it's marked on the One Sheet Wonder. And I'll show you what I mean. So for card 4, I have the 4 star, which means the reverse side for the 1 1/4 by 5 1/4 piece. And then the 3 by 4 piece is supposed to use the front side. And I'm going to flip it like that. Okay? Once you cut the pieces, you can do whatever you want with them. The main thing is you want to use one side going, one direction, and then the other side you want to be the other direction. So you could mat these. You could pop it up with dimensionals if you want to. I didn't. So, okay. Okay, that's card 4. Okay. Halfway there. This is card 5. And I think on card 5, I did the same thing because I wanted to use this doily, and I didn't think you'd be able to see it on this side. So on 5, I also switched them around. So what color do we want to do these? Let's do the light pink because I'll use the pink doily. This one I love because you can really see the doily on this one. The other one, you couldn't really see the doily that well. Just the tips of it. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, it goes against the left side there. And then this one's going to go just like that. A lot of the cards look like that, look very similar. Like cards 4 and 5 are very similar. I just decorated them differently. And then let's put the doily on top. And the doilies do come in 2 sizes. They come in a smaller size and a larger size. I used the smaller one. The larger one, you can kind of put it on the whole card. I've seen a lot of people do these and have them kind of sticking off the end and cut it off a little bit, or fold it and make kind of like a heart or something out of it, or make a pocket. Okay, put this down, and I am going to line up the hearts, I guess, going that way. Okay, and then we'll stamp and cut a little bit later. Okay, so this was card 5. Card 6 uses these ones. So this is card 6. Let's use this. And this one, this is the bigger piece. It's 1 3/4. And I'm using the back side, and then I did use the front side on this one. So the base of a lot of these are similar. They have sort of a straight piece and then a smaller rectangle. But then I just decided, you know, I chose to decorate them differently. You actually can make almost all of them the same. Well, at least six of the 8 the same. They're very similar if you want. Okay, here is card 7. So here we go. I'm going to use this red. Hi, Kim. Thanks. Okay, this is one where I did add some cardstock underneath it because I'm using these pieces. And when I put these on here, I just thought, oh, you can just leave it like this and then put the heart on it if you want to. But I thought it could use a little bit more. So I double matted this one. I want to measure when I did the weight. Yeah, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. I wonder if I just cut that other piece a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. And so we're just going to put these on here, and there's just enough room that just a little bit of space in between. Okay. So let's adhere those down. Who watched the Bears-Packers game yesterday? Go Bears. I was up late watching the game, and I was shouting at the TV, and poor Mr. Darcy just did not know what was going on because I typically do not watch football and shout at the TV. So he was jumping up and trying to figure out what was going on. Okay. And then one more. Okay. So we can leave it like that. I did double mat it. Let's see if I have enough paper to do that. This is 3 1/2 by 4 1/2. Oh yeah, okay, this is 3 1/2. By 4 1/2. This is the part that you can just have fun and play around. Like I said, you don't have to mat these at all. You could just put the little squares on if you want to. feel like I'm getting low on this. But we're on card 7, so that's okay. Okay, now let's center this here. What I love about these cards and this suite particularly is that it is just so Valentine's. I mean, the colors and the hearts and everything is just, it says Valentine's to me. So that's why I picked this one. Okay, this was card 7. Oh, good, you got back from the beach in time for the live. That's nice. It was kind of cold and it didn't snow here, but it's cold enough it probably could snow. I would love to be at the beach. Okay, and this is card 8. This one I did do going this way. So, and this one I only single matted. So let's get some of the white. And I'm going to do 3 1/4. Let's make sure that that's what I cut it. Yeah, 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. Mat it if you want. Leave it off if you don't want to. Or double mat it. I also think it depends on what paper you're using and like what decorations you plan. That also can kind of guide. Okay. And I use the heart side. Of these. Let me make sure this is going to fit there. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we're getting there. There we go. Then I'm going to put it this way. At this point, it doesn't matter if it's, I am going to make it be a landscape card, but since I'm not decorating it yet, it doesn't matter. And any of these you can turn portrait or landscape. That's what's really nice about this design is that it's really, really flexible. Okay, so that's card 8. So there are our cards. Let me put this here again so you can see. If you came in late, this was the one sheet wonder that we used. Okay, now let's go and decorate it. So to decorate it, I am using the stamp set that goes with this suite, the Made to Love suite is called Endless Love. Okay, so this is the stamp set, and this is the die set. This is the new packaging from Stampin' Up! If you haven't seen it. So the stamps come like this, and then the dies look like this. I haven't decided how I'm going to store these yet, so that's why I'm just leaving them how they are. So that's what I'm using to decorate. I could also potentially use the sticker sheet, because I did buy the sticker sheet with the paper pack. But I was saving these kind of to do a scrapbook layout. Although I could use that. Okay, so let's start with card 1. This is card 1. And my plan for these cards is I was really trying to use all of the dies and as many of the stamps as I could to, just to, right, get use out of them, and to make the cards different. Okay, so for this one, I used this heart die. So that heart die, and it also comes with this little banner die. Okay. So I'm going to, let's cut the banner and the heart out. Are there any questions about just the process of the One Sheet Wonder before I start decorating it? Okay, so this one I'm going to use white for the banner, and then what color did I use? I don't want to use that one because I already used that. How about we use the pink for this one? Well, let's put that in separately. Let's run it through separate. Okay, here's the banner die. And then let's do the heart. Okay. And I didn't stamp anything on the banner. I just put this here, but I did, it is a little bit long. So what I did is I just kind of chopped that off, because if you could see, it doesn't stick all the way through. So let's adhere that down. I adhere this right to the card front, and I kind of centered it on the card, but maybe just slightly up a little bit. Okay, let's stamp on this before we put it on. And I used the XO. Let's see, and I didn't get a block. Okay. And I brought over the Poppy Parade. And then let's just put that on here, and it fits on here beautifully. Wipe that off. Okay, and then I did pop this up. So let's get out our dimensionals. And like I said, you can decorate this depending on what suite you're using. You know, this is where you can go to town and do whatever you want. But if you have this suite and you're making Valentines, you can follow along. I didn't add any gems. I thought about adding sparkles or something, but I felt there was a lot going on, so I did not. Okay, so here's card number 1. This is the one I made today, and this is the sample. So let's put those over here. Okay, this is card number 2. And this one I did make go landscape. Here I used 2 of the banners. So let's cut 2 of those out. Here's 1 and 2. I could have probably folded the paper over and cut 2 at once, but I want to make sure I get a good cut, so I didn't do that. Okay, so there's the second one. And then I used this die, and I will show you which one it is. It's this one, and I don't know if you can tell, but I actually cut that piece off, which I will do, but so this is my card. I think I'm going to use the red to cut my heart, because you'll be able to see it, and that's what I used for the doily. So this is Poppy Parade. Okay. So you can see that this one cuts the tag hole, I don't know, whatever you call that. But all I did is I kind of went like this and just followed along. I tried to match the curve. There we go. Can't even tell. And then a spoiler, I also trimmed this a little bit because I didn't want it to get too bulky in the middle because these overlapped. So you just want to make sure you don't cut it too short so that these can, you can still see these. Okay, so I have it like this, and then I'm going to put the red on top. So let's adhere these down. Put that there. Adhere this down like that. You want them to be about the same distance from the end. And then, yeah, then we're going to put that on top. I am going to pop it up again. This one's a little bit bigger than the other heart, so I'm going to put a little bit more. And these are mini dimensionals. That's what I happen to grab. So nobody's making any one-sheet wonders? And let me know if you are. I'm interested. You can also do Easter cards, get a head start on your Easter. I didn't stamp on this one at all because truthfully there weren't a lot of designs for the stamps, so I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to use them all up. So okay, here's card number 2. This is the one for my sample, and then this is the one that I'm making today. Okay, card number 3. Okay, use the same one in white. Okay, here's some white. The same die. And then for the arrow, I use black. See our little piece of black here. And this is one of the dies. Here. Okay. I might have used the smaller one, but I don't think it matters. There's a, I don't know if you can see, but there's this one here too. Beep. This is the only card that I use black on, but I'll use a paper from your stash. Good. Sorry. Okay, so here's this. Okay, and then remember, this is the one that's got the one sheet of paper. It's a 3x4 going this way, and then the 3x4 going this way. And the reason I use white and black, because I thought it would stand up against the that busy heart pattern. So again, I cut this one off. I didn't cut it off on all of them, but on these two I did. And then I stamped hugs and kisses. There's some really cute, there's hugs and kisses, today and always, sending you. Let's see, so let's do hugs and kisses. And then I used the black to match the black arrow. Okay. One thing I love about this die is that it's got this really pretty cutout border. It's got a dash and then a dot. Really nice. The other heart, the first that we did on card 1, doesn't have any detail around it. It's just cut out. Which I like too, but it makes this one extra special. Okay. And this one I did not pop up. You can. And then it's not quite long enough, so I did cut this one. I might pop this one up. Yeah, I think I must have used the smaller arrow for this one. And you want to try and get it in a straight line. I feel like my arrow looks bent there maybe, but I think Ellie's going to use these, so I don't think the preschool kids are going to say, oh, that's bent. But I love to make one-sheet wonders for Valentine's because I'm always making a lot of Valentines, and this makes it easy. I think last year I did a one-sheet wonder, but it was a 6x6 one-sheet wonder, and it made 3 cards, and it had cookies and milk, or it was the one that's like the pairs, like cookies and milk pair together, and I don't remember what the other things are, but okay, there we go. This is card 3. Today's card, the sample card. And I'm probably not going to have time to do that here, but I did, for all of these, cut out a, white piece of white and stamped Happy Valentine's Day, which is in the set. I don't know if you can tell, but Happy Valentine's Day. That's what I used. Okay, card 4. Card 4, I did these. I will tell you, in the first time I cut it with this Flirty Flamingo, and you really couldn't see it on this background, so that's why I cut it out again in white. So I'm going to do the white again, and I really love this heart. This was my favorite heart. Let's see what we got here. So that's this heart here. This heart. And then I cut out XO, XO, XX. There we go. And I don't know if you saw, but the O's, the center of the O's is a heart shape, which I really, really love. Okay, see X, O, you see this O, how it's a heart shape, isn't that cute? Okay, here is that heart. And then these ones, we need to kind of pop out here. Oh, did that fall out? Oh, that was the one I already did, I guess. Okay, here's the X and the X. I ended up, I didn't use all of them. I did XO, XOX. Okay. There we go. Let's put these over here. I don't have my trash bin here. Okay. Let's put this open heart. Oh, that's kind of like open heart surgery. I told you, yeah, I'm out. Let me go replenish. Thought I was out for a minute. I was like, oh, and I brought my little garbage bag here. Thanks to Julian D for this little bag. I don't have my lunch sack in here, but that's because I took it. I also used this at my quilting retreat, and it worked really, really well. Okay. Oh my gosh, what did I do with the... Oh, here it is. Got caught up on the trash bag. Okay. Let's put this here. And then I only had enough room for 5, so I put the X in the middle. But look how cute these O's are. And like I said, my goal was to try and use all of the stamps and dies. So that's why almost everything is different. Not everything, because I did use that. I did use this die a few times. But I tried to use as many of the dies as possible. Okay, so this is card, I think 4. Cute, but you could, again, decorate whatever you want. I could have put stickers on them if I wanted to use the stickers. Okay, card 5. This one was pretty easy. I stamped love. Do I only have this huge piece of white? Maybe. Okay, I'm going to cut this down. Okay, and the love stamp, which I really love. And I'm going to stamp it and then cut it out. So that's, I'm going to stamp it kind of in the middle there. And I'm using Poppy Parade. Hi, Dee. Did you get dropped off and then put back on? Because I thought I saw you before. Okay, so let's stamp this up here so you can see what I'm doing. Let it sit there for a second because there we go. It's a solid letters, and I want to make sure all the ink got on there. Now, you might not recognize this shape, but when I saw this word, and I thought, oh, how am I going to cut this out? I immediately thought of this die. The shape looked perfect for it. Let's see. And it's one of my close to my heart dies here. I think. Oh no, that's not the one. It's here. But I don't know, it looked exactly like it would fit here, which it did. It fit here exactly. This was the, what do I have it on here? I don't know. I don't know what the name of it must have been called, because normally I keep the pieces on here, the names of it. I cut them out and put it on there, but so let's cut this out. I might have had a Stampin' Up die that fit that, but I knew I wanted to use that one, so I did. Let's get this cleaned up here. I think I need to get new plates. I don't know. I use my plates so much. I have really become a lover of die cutting, and I did not die cut before. Just the only thing I ever die cut was, you know, around the shape of something. So I really, my last 2 years of Christmas cards have been very die cut intensive. This year wasn't quite as bad, although there were still, I had the dove, I had the twig and the dove's mouth. I had 2 of the sentiment shapes, kind of like this. And then I think there was one more thing I die cut, but the year before, when I made the ice skates and the sled and the vines and then there was the shoelaces and the blades and all that stuff. It was a lot of die cutting. Okay, look, that's so perfect. Guys, I'm so happy. Doesn't it make you happy when you have stuff in your stash that is just absolutely perfect? Okay. There's the card. There's this card, and I did pop it up. So let's find the dimensionals. Your laptop rebooted. Yeah, the skate cards had a crazy amount of cutting, and I had convinced myself that's what I wanted to do before I actually started cutting them. But I will tell you that I cut like a million too many leaf, like vine things. I don't know why I cut so many, but I have baggies of them. Absolute baggies of it. I don't know if I miscalculated, because what I did is I sat down and I looked at one card, and then I calculated how many cards I was going to make and so on, and then I just cut all of them at once and then assembled. Okay, here's the next card. I love it. Card 5. Only 3 more. Okay, card 6. Okay, this one, I'm not in love with this one, guys. I think that heart's a little bit too big, but again, I wanted to use all of the dies. And I really love this look with the hearts out of it, so I wanted to use that. So here's the thing, and then so this is like a 2-part die. Let's see. Here's some paper. I'm going to use this side. This is the bubble bath, and I'm using the lighter side of the bubble bath. And what I like about this die is it's got all of these, oh, does that fit on here? I hope it's going to fit. Well, it's right on the edge there. We'll see. Okay, and then I'm going to put that there. Hopefully I don't move it. Okay, I didn't get to talk about the Bears. The Bears game. Hope nobody's a Packer. Sorry, Dee, about the Packers. That one's not too bad. I think it just barely cut off the edge, but I'm okay with that. I love that there's this like little die you can put inside this die to make that happen. And actually, you could use these dies, these cutouts, on other cards. Yeah, the washi tape coordinated. You are right. Okay. Now, I didn't like that you could see through you see how you could see through the holes there? So what I did is I just took a piece like this and I kind of cut it. There we go. And kind of, you want to make sure that you don't put the adhesive to where you're going to see it or it's going to stick out, but there we go. You want it to stick. Oh, and this is going over the little holes, so I am going to trim that right there because you don't want it to cover up the holes. And then I'm going to make sure that there's all of the holes have been, oh, that one needs to be punched out. There's one there that, so I really do love this, this die. And I think with this color, I don't dislike it as much as I do with the other one. I only have these mini dimensionals out here, so I have to put a lot on. Maybe not so many. That's probably good. So that Bears game was craziness. I got to halftime and I was like, I'm turning this off. It was terrible. Terrible. It was making me cry. We start off the first drive was really good for the Bears. And then after that, the rest of the first half was down the drain. Okay, this is card 6. Down the drain. And I was like, I'm going to turn this off. And then I was like, no, I don't want to be a fair weather fan, and turn it off. Is this 7? Yeah, 7. Okay. So this one, I did use this die, and I didn't cut that part off. So I think I'm going to use that brighter pink. If I have a piece of it, I should have a piece. Okay, here we go. This is the piece I used. So I watched the rest of the game, and I'm so glad I did. It was so good. Normally, I would take the time to scrape this off, but I'm not going to since we're, running long. We only got 2 more cards, and that includes this one. I wasn't sure I'd get to decorate all of them, but if you're still here with me, thanks. Okay. What did I stamp on this one? Today and always. Okay. Okay, here's the stamp set. I couldn't find the stamp set. Okay, today and always. Like I said, I'm just really trying to use all the different items to show you. And I stamped it in black. I think maybe because, so you could really see it on the darker color. Okay. Today and always. Great. That's beautiful. And I pop this one up. I hope whenever you guys make your cards that you post them on the group. If you are not a member of the Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up, please join, and then you're able to post your work there. Okay. And I put this on an angle on purpose. So, and then here I use this twine. The suite does come with the bubble bath twine. I didn't get that, but I have this red twine here that I think I'm going to use. Just cut off a little bit. Okay. This twine was like, that's all that I had left from a paper pumpkin kit. So I always save those because you get a little bit extra and you can use it on other projects. And so that's what I did. Okay, put it through there. Okay, I put the folded side through and then run this through. Kind of like if you would do luggage tags. That's how I do my luggage tags anyway. And then I'll trim that a little bit. Okay. So there is card 7, one more. And like I said, I would put a greeting on the inside, but I won't be doing that today. Oh, and this one was pretty easy. Remember, I did put this landscape. Yeah, landscape. And I'm using this heart die again. And I don't know if you can tell, I did stamp on that. Okay, I think I'm going to use this one. Okay. Yeah, the Bears, I think the last time they played the Packers, they won it at the last second. But it was literally the last second. They actually added a few more seconds to the clock. And then so it was like nail biting. I think there was 2 seconds left, and then they added some more to make it 7 seconds. And so it was down literally 2 seconds. Okay. And then the stamp is here. Now, some people like to stamp and then die cut. I am one that likes to die cut and then stamp. But you could stamp and then die cut if you want. Let me see. Okay, let's see if we get it centered. I might be sticking my head in here. Okay, I think I could do it without it. Post on the Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up in the group. There we go. Love it. Yeah, post your cards there. I'd love to see them. You can make and you could post it in the, I know. Okay, I'm back. I know it's okay, the Wi-Fi is, I don't, okay, the Wi-Fi is cutting out, guys. Sorry. But this was the last card, so that was good. I turned the Wi-Fi off. I'm just using the cellular. Okay, so here are our cards. Sorry if you got lost there. But here are our cards for today. If you do create these, I hope that you will post them in the group. The Crafty Chemist Presents Stampin' Up. Thank you for the heart. I saw the heart coming on. Okay, and I'd love to see what you have to say. I do have a blog post about this. Okay, that has all the measurements and such. Wait, I've got a notice on here. So if you want a copy of the cutting guide, it's on there. And then I also have a picture of the cards that I made. So check out my blog. Also, I had a video drop today as part of the YouTube Hop, which is this card. It's a fun fold accordion card using the Boho Vibes suite. So go check out my YouTube video that shows you how to create this. This is a really easy card to make. And it's a quick video, 20 minutes. Okay, so go check that out. Next week we are doing Mosaic Mania. So we're going to be making some mosaic scrapbook layouts. Okay, I did this one to showcase my Northern Lights. So you won't want to miss next week when we're making this scrapbook layout using the Lights of Aurora suite. Okay, so a lot going on. I appreciate you sticking with me, especially at the end there with the Wi-Fi issues. My Wi-Fi's been pretty good lately, and I don't know why today it's not. But thanks for joining. Post your cards if you make one. Thanks a lot. See you next week. Bye.